Hello everybody and welcome back aboard Citation 39er Charlie Juliet here in Angel Fire, New Mexico. We're here for leg number 2, this time all the way over to Monterey, California. Should be off the ground here between 45 minutes and an hour from now. Just need to go back over my flight plan real quick, review the weather, review our alternates, review our approach procedures, and make sure that we're all good to go there. Unfortunately, no, this is not Citation 9er Charlie Juliet. That is just a citation that is photoed here on the wall. But we're currently sitting in the terminal here, just grabbing our coffee, going over our flight plan. 9 Charlie Juliet is, oh, there she is, right out there. So it's a little funny. We've got the citation photo next to the sort of real-life citation. It's about as close as we'll get. So we're just going to sit down, keep drinking our coffee, keep going over this flight plan, and I'll see you guys in about 10 seconds here. Off the bat, just something I want to show you guys. I already reviewed this flight plan and made sure we're good to go. At first I was like, how come we're going so far to the south here? And then I realized there's a little something called a restricted airspace. In fact, actually a lot of restricted airspace all around here just north of Vegas. So we'll go ahead and accept the routing it gave us. I'm not really too interested in arguing with anything. The reason for this little loop-de-loop here is because I want to be taking the obstacle departure procedure for runway 17 out of Angel Fire, just to make sure we're safe, and that has us go down to Sealov and then join our route up to Cimarron VOR. So it's going to be a bit of a loop-de-loop. This will just keep us on, I should probably change this to world high so you can actually see what I'm talking about here. There you go, that'll put us on the Juliet 134 airway. One thing I did change is if you go ahead and look at the forecast here, originally it wanted me to take San Francisco as my alternate. Now if we look at Monterey, you can see the weather right now is broken. So this is the METAR, the direct observation right here at the top. 10 statute miles, broken 1100. So a little bit low ceilings, nothing too horrible. The TAF is saying skies clear until 03, so that'll be around 11 p.m. my time. So right around the time we get there, 4 statute miles, missed, broken 400. So that's well below our minimum criteria where we would need to file an alternate for. Now granted, 11 my time is just over 1 hour before our ETA of 10 o'clock my time. Now legally speaking, we need to file an alternate if the weather is less than 2,000 foot ceilings within plus or minus 1 hour of our ETA. So technically this is a little bit over. It's going to be about 2.5 hour flight, and I'm hoping to be off the ground just before 7:30 my time. So, yeah, you know, technically speaking, this is outside of that range since we'll be a little bit before 10 o'clock. I don't feel like pushing this, though, so we're going to file an alternate. Now, San Francisco, let's see what they're reporting. They're saying few clouds 600, oh, no big deal. Oh, but then broken 700 about, what, an hour later? So this is right on the edge of our alternate minimum. So it's for precision approach, which we know San Francisco has, 600 foot ceilings is our minimum. This is 700 feet. Whereas if you look at SJC, that's San Jose, California, you can go ahead and see that their TAF is saying broken 1,000 tomorrow. Skies clear in the meantime. Flight level 430, Mach 0.82. Nothing too crazy there. What is crazy is this. I'll show you right now. No TAMs for approach procedures into the Monterey airport. RNAV Zulu, runway 28 left, Amendment 1 procedure not available. Now, what's funny about this is let's go ahead and look at that procedure up here. We'll, of course, take a look at everything on the iPad when we get in the air. But just to show you guys something, if you click on the Monterey Regional Airport, noise abatement procedures in effect from 07 to 1500 Zulu. So that's actually not in the range where we'll be landing there. Please avoid flying the RNAV 28 left Yankee when possible. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. We'll go ahead and plan for the Zulu. Well, guess what? The Zulu is no longer applicable. So guess who's taking the RNAV Yankee, assuming we take runway 28. Since we're not going to be waiting for passengers to board, we'll just go ahead and do our walk around right now. Our chocks are all removed. Nothing left outside the airplane at all. Let's see, landing lights look good. And the leading edge looks good. Yeah, everything looks good from here. So let's go ahead and hop in the airplane now, and let's go ahead and get out of here. Yeah, 312 at 12. Okay, so 310, and we're departing runway 17. That'll give us a slight tailwind. So let me just punch in and see how strong that tailwind component is. If I go ahead and go to my phony, my phony 6B. Departing runway 17, that'll be a tailwind of 9 knots. Okay, here's how we're going to go ahead and do this, because remember, this is a high density altitude. We're going to keep putting in our departure procedure. Oh boy, this is going to be a pain in my butt here, so let's go ahead and keep putting in runway 17 for our departure procedure. We'll calculate our climb out performance and takeoff performance, see if that meets our minimum that we're comfortable with. So I'll go ahead and do that and see you guys in a few minutes. Takeoff weight, that matches what we just found. Weather, go ahead and load the METAR data, and we'll go ahead and click show the METAR. So yeah, 320 gusting 15, temperature 26. So we'll punch that in, temperature 26. Runway, we're taking runway 17 because that's what the departure procedure is for, and the departure specifically states not applicable to if I took runway 35. So I guess we can't take that. Takeoff config, we are going to be let's use as much as we can. So yeah, flaps 2 and then takeoff data. 107 for V1, VR 107. V2 will be 117, VFTO 185. So with the 9 knot tailwind, they're saying 5,900, almost 6,000 feet out of the 9,000 available. So we're going to use 2/3 of the runway getting out of here. Next, let's go ahead and review our departure. And I'm going to go ahead and see what our minimum climb out speed is for Angel Fire. So I'm going to go on my iPad. I know you guys can't see this just yet. I promise I'll share this in a second. I'm going to click Departure Procedures, Anarchy 2, and they're saying 526 feet per nautical mile up to 12,300. Runway 35 not applicable due to obstacles. Okay, so with that in mind, so we need to meet a climb rate of 526 feet per nautical mile. So the way we're going to calculate this is I'm going to grab my my calculator on my phone. 185 is the airspeed we'll be climbing out at, but remember, that's indicated, so we need to make that correction. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Density altitude is 11.3, so even higher than when we arrived here. Our true airspeed is 220. Add another 10 knots to that because we're taking off with a tailwind, and that's a 230 knot true. That's a 230 knot ground speed as we climb out of here. So take that ground speed of 230, divide it by 60, multiply that number by that required 526 per nautical mile. We need to be matching 2,000 feet per minute as we climb out of here. Now, obviously, we have to check aircraft performance. I feel pretty confident that 9 Charlie Juliet can climb out at 2,000 feet per minute. So I think we can do this. We'll go ahead and set 185, go full power. We're not going to reduce it like I did out of Brownsville or Dallas. We're just going to go full power, pedal to the metal, and rocket out of here at a quadrillion feet per minute. Until we are clear of that 12.3 thousand feet number. All right, let's go ahead and do this departure briefing. Winds are currently out of 310, gusting to 15. That's going to be departing runway 17. A 9 knot tailwind. So runway 17, that is going to give us, let me just double check here, procedures, airport diagram. Departing runway 17, that's 8,900 feet of runway. We're going to be using up 6,000 feet of that, so we're going to treat it basically as a short field, 2 notches of flaps, full power. If anything happens before we reach V1, actually, if anything happens at all, given the tight runway constraints, if anything happens at all before 80, we are going to close the throttle, apply reverse, bring it to a stop as soon as possible. That will be for any warning, and beyond 80, we will only abort for a master warning, so this red light right here. If anything happens after 80, but before V1, and we get a master warning, we will go ahead and abort. Otherwise, we will continue and deal with the issue in the air. After V1, we will go ahead, if we experience an engine failure, we will delay our rotation to VR. So once again, that V1 is 107. We'll delay our rotation to V2 of 117 and deal with the issue in the air once we've completed this departure procedure. Assuming everything goes to plan, we are going to depart and take the Anarchy 2 departure. So just reviewing that departure procedure, Just need to fly straight ahead on a heading of 172. Go ahead and set that on standby, please. 172 up to 8,900 feet, which will only be 500 feet from now. Then we'll go ahead and punch in direct to Monterey. From Monterey, we have no top altitude here, no altitude restriction. We just need to go ahead and make sure we don't exceed 250 until we have hit the Bopple waypoint. Then we'll be off to Salav, and then direct to the Cimaros, or whatever the waypoint was, VOR, the Charlie India Mike VOR. And to start checklist, we'll go ahead and turn the anti-collision lights on. Throttle is verified both at idle. We'll go ahead and fire up the right engine. Number 2, firing up, just giving them a ground signal right there. Go ahead and click set U to run, and we'll hit that starter. Everything's going quiet, and the engine's firing up. There's good fuel flow. We'll go ahead and let this engine stabilize. And then once that happens, I'm going to go ahead and fire up number 2, and see you guys in just 1 minute. And that's engine number 1 stabilized. So that's 2 engines all good to go. Continuing with the checklist, left engine is set. All instruments are in the green and 2 good. Fuel flow stable, temperature and pressure both in the green. We'll go ahead and check, make sure the left gens are both on. We'll go ahead and set the APU generator off, verify that our engine generators are on by a lack of amperage drop there. And we'll go ahead and kill that APU. Bus ties verified or open, APU generator is off. APU verified is off, speed brakes are checked and retracted. The flight instruments and avionics, go ahead and set, oh, I forgot to set my altimeter. Let me just grab it one more time before I forget. 3031, okay, excellent. And you know, it's always a good idea to grab that one more time right before you go out to taxi anyways, so that's fine that that happened. Ice protection, we're going to say not required. I might leave pitot-static heat just on standby, just because we will be departing the, climbing into a little bit of precip, or not precip, but visible moisture up there. So anyways, with that all being said, before taxi checklist is complete, just double check. Everything else appears to be good. 265, 185, 43,000 set standby, altimeter set. There we go, just getting it rolling just a little bit now. I'll go ahead and pull up my diagram. So let's see now, airport diagram. What taxiway do we take to get out of here? Oh, there are no taxiways. We can just announce that we're taxiing to runway 17. That'll be a left turn out of here. So we'll keep this turn going. Thank you guys so much for your hospitality. This is actually, oh, for fuck's sake, forgot how much power I have to give it to get it to turn. But no, this is actually a really nice scenery. I'm pleased with my stay here. Angel Fire traffic citation 39 or Charlie Juliet is taxiing to runway 17, Angel Fire. Yeah, this, I'm not gonna lie, does feel a little bit sketchy, this whole taking off with a tailwind like that. But saying departing runway 35 is NA due to obstacles. I'm just going to double check the takeoff minimum page. Angel Fire, yeah, runway 35 NA due to obstacles. So 17 is the only option, and we did just run the performance. It does say it's possible. It just says it's going to be a little bit tight. It's not horribly tight. We've got what, 3,000 feet of runway to use if things don't go to plan. It's going to be tighter than we're used to, but it's not completely out of standards. So anyways, and remember, we've got no passengers on board. It's just us. We're carrying less than half tanks. So I think we'll be okay. We're approaching the end now. Let's go ahead and start to run through our checklist. So for takeoff checklist, flaps verified are set in 2 for departure. The speed brakes verified are retracted. Trims are set to -4 for departure. Ice protections, I'm going to have that pitot-static on. Everything else will be off. We really can't afford to lose performance. I think our left wing is about to clip that tree over there, but that's okay. That tree looks like it needs to be trimmed anyways. Let's look at this. Yeah, that's okay. That tree needed to be trimmed, right? Okay, good. We just passed through. I was hoping. I remember one time I accidentally did that, and it gave me a crash message because I left crash settings turned on. It's like, come on, it's just a little bush. Anyway, so that tree just got trimmed. Continuing with the before takeoff ice protection set. V speeds verified 107. Why does it say my V speeds? Oh, because I need to accept them. There we go. 107. correction, 106, 107, and 117 is going to be our V speeds. We'll bring it to a stop here just while we do our final checks. Departure briefing's complete. Once again, 80 will be anything before 80 at all. If otherwise, if it's a master warning, we will abort if it happens before V1 of 106. Otherwise, beyond that, we'll go ahead and continue with the takeoff. We'll climb out at full throttle till we pass 12.3 and punch the autopilot on as soon as we can. Okay, clear for takeoff. Flight controls one last time verified are all free and correct. Ice protections are all set. Get the exterior lights turned on in 1 second. Angel Fire traffic citation 39er Charlie Juliet is taken off runway 17, departing the area to the south on the Anarchy 2 departure. Angel Fire. Finals clear. Runway itself looks clear. Just verify one more time. Yep, no air traffic control online. And I'll go ahead and get some power just to get this thing rolling around here. Short field technique today. Landing light on, pulse light on, everything else is not required. Reduce the power here, just keep it right here at the end. Yep, I got it for flight. There's runway 17. Again, 11.3 on the density altitude and with a tailwind, so, you know. We'll give it a shot. Hey, the computer says it can be done, right? Obviously, we give ourselves some more safety margins, but we've got 3,000 feet of safety margins, so I'm not too worried. I mean, there are heavies that take off on a daily basis with less than that, so go ahead and bring it to a stop. And no ECAS displays, no ECAS messages are displayed, so that's the before takeoff checklist complete. Let's go ahead and start to add that power. Make sure my camera's set up. Yep, we're good to go. Come on, bring it up to 50%. 50% stabilized. We'll go ahead and increase to takeoff power, which will be once our displays turn green. Yep, there we go, or blue. Wait for that to develop to full. And let the engine stabilize. We'll go ahead and release the brakes. Engines are stable. Airspeed alive. $80 knots. 100. V1 rotate. And there's V2. Positive rate of climb, gear up. There's 2,000 feet per minute, so that's our required climb rate. Go ahead and keep this at full power for now. Nav mode on and flight level change on, and we'll go ahead and punch the autopilot itself on, please. There we go, now we're getting that 4,000 feet per minute climb there. There's 8,900, so 9,900, so now the plane should start to turn itself on course. Ears up, we'll keep our flaps to 2 for the best angle of climb as we get up to 5,000 feet per minute. Keep the landing lights on since we're pretty low. We can start to increase that speed. We're actually significantly slower than we were expecting to initially be, so we can set that to about a 180, just because I can't let this thing sink too much just yet. Yeah, we just can't let this thing go below a 2,000 foot per nautical mile climb, but there's 12, and 12.1, 12.2, starting to turn on course now, and 12.3. Alright, now we can go ahead and, you know, honestly, I'm going to leave the power at full because of, just not quite mentally prepared for how little performance this thing was going to get. I mean, I knew it would be less than, but this is relatively weak. So we'll go ahead and bring that first notch of flaps out. So that's flaps 1 set now. We can go ahead and make sure that taxi light is off. Pressurization, make sure is increasing, which it appears to be. And we'll let the plane continue its climb at climb power. In fact, we'll turn the auto throttles on. And we'll go ahead and bring second notch of flaps up. Let this thing just rocket out above this. And yeah, we're plenty clear of obstacles now. We're actually above the MSA now, so that's perfect. Let's go ahead and just increase the range on this. Oh yeah, we're going to be plenty safe. We'll just keep our current speed until we're after Boppel, and then we'll go ahead and increase it to our normal climb out speed. After takeoff checklist, landing gear verified is up. Flaps verified are retracted. Throttles are set to climb. Ice protection is set as required. And the pressurization double check. Yep, that's an increase in cabin altitude. Seatbelts verified are still on. Altimeters will be set actually right now to standard. Yep, thank you. That's perfect time in there. And our exterior lights. Yeah, we'll go ahead and turn the landing lights off. Just make sure pulse lights are still on. Yeah, everything else that's required is still on. Awesome. So we've made it out of Angel Fire. That takeoff roll was definitely a little bit longer than I expected, but that's okay. We'll continue this climb out, wait till we're over Bopley, and then we'll increase it to 270 on the speed. Let's go ahead and look at my iPad, and we'll click on Monterey weather right there, and let's go ahead and take a look at this. So currently the TAF is saying winds 290 at 10, broken 1200. At 10 p.m. my time, which is only, as you see on my iPad, 45 minutes from now, so right around the time we actually land, maybe a little bit before, broken 600. Now, what's the problem with that? Well, the problem with that is, let's go ahead and look at the approach. Remember, we cannot take the RNAV Zulu. We can only take the RNAV Yankee. RNAV Yankee minimums are 1,080 or 823 above the ground, so we would need 900-foot ceilings at least. So if it's broken 600, that's going to be an issue. Now, luckily right now, according to the latest METAR, it's broken 1,100, which will give us a couple hundred feet before the minimums. For the RNAV Zulu, we would be able to get down to 527, which is well below minimums, but remember, we can't take that because it's not permitted right now for whatever reason because of that NOTAM. So, this isn't looking too great. Now, there is an ILS for runway 10 right. That we can definitely take, and will get me to 200 feet above the ground, which is well below that ceiling if it does come down to it. But that's for a 10 right, so we would need to, if it does come to it, we would have to do a performance calculation and see if we can even land with that amount of tailwind. Secondly, now granted we did take off with a tailwind, so maybe that'll just be par for the course at this point, but we want to avoid that as much as possible. So we might have to go ahead and consider, if these ceilings drop from 1100 to 600 as forecasted, we might have to consider a diversion out to San Jose, which is what we're planning for. So let's go. Now here's the other issue. Now San Jose looks a little bit nicer. I think we'll be safe to make that. My concern, though, is if we look at performance, weight, and fuel and landing, we'll have about 1,200 pounds left over at Monterey, and that's not a lot considering we took off with 5,600. That's less than an hour in reserve. So I think for one, my sim brief profile must be a little screwed up, because I would like to have a little bit more than 1,000 pounds in reserves. And secondly, I think what this means is we're going to have to shoot the approach, and if it doesn't look good, we're going to have to go mist and just go straight to San Jose. There'll be no second attempt, so we'll see how it looks as we start to descend in for this approach. Still no ATC online, and yeah, we'll hope for the best. So we'll start this descent here. Actually, you know what? Since we're about to start this descent, let's go ahead and just while I'm recording my iPad, we'll go ahead and do this approach briefing. So assuming we end up taking the RNAV Yankee, runway 28 left. Runway length is 7,000 feet. Touchdown zone is at 257. Airport elevation 257. Non-standard takeoff and alternate minimums. ATIS is on 19.25. We'll go ahead and punch that on standby. So 19.25, and we'll give it a listen as we start our descent. Approach and tower, we'll put 18.4 on standby. So 18.4 for CTAF. Ground control we're not going to worry about. Let's just keep going with this for now. So we're going to take these Salinas, so Sierra November Sierra waypoint transition. I'm probably going to end up having to vector myself out because that's going to be yes, I got it. That's going to be a very tight turnaround there. So I'm probably going to end up having to give myself a little bit of a vector just so we aren't turning, basically making one giant circle and ending up straight at Hexar like we did last time. So coming in almost like we did coming into Fire Angel, which is generally not what we want to do. So anyways, oh, there's our VNAV profile starting to come alive. That's nice. Anyways, we'll get down to, we've got an MSA of, let me double check, the MSA 6,300 within 25 miles of Utoya. Where's Utoya? Oh, there it is, the minimum approach points, basically right over the airport. So we can get down to that one within 25 miles of the airport, and we'll go ahead and then over Sierra November Sierra, get down to 5,100 Hexar. After Hexar, we can go down to 4,100, 3,200 for Hogan, and then 1,740 for Iniku, and then down to our minimums of 1080. So we'll go ahead and get the ATIS here in just a little bit. There's our VNAV starting to intercept, and hopefully this thing should start to descend itself. Yep, just like that. Awesome. Anyways, with that out of the way, missed approach will be up to 6,000 feet on standby to the Sierra November Sierra VORTAC, and continue to hold and climb up to 6,000. That's our approach briefing complete, assuming we take the RNAV Yankee 28 left. Descent checklist, we'll go ahead and just take a quick look at that sim checklist. Descent, let's see, so descent checklist, pressurization, land and elevation verified is 217. Yeah, that's pretty close to what it is. Should be more like 250, but I'll accept that. Altimeters will be set after we pass 18,000 feet, and exterior lights are so far set, not required. Approach, I already got my perf. We got approach speed of 119 and the VREF of 109. We'll go ahead and continue this descent now down into Monterey, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit. That should be safe. We're actually about to enter low altitude, so if I look at my iPad, low altitude, the off-route altitude section, the off-route obstacle clearance altitude is 8,200. So we'll set down to like 9,000 for now until we're within that that 25-mile radius of the airport. Looks like we should have no problem making that. Let's see if we can't pick up the altimeter now, the ATIS here. Still not picking it up. Let me verify I have it.
Monterey Airport information Golf 01000 Zulu. Wind 268 at 7. Visibility 10. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,800 feet. No contact, you have Golf.
Alright, we have Golf. Well, that was perfect timing there. Oh, looks like we don't have it. And then, oh, look, we have it now. Perfect, awesome. So we have information Golf there. Hopefully it stays the same where it's only few at 1,100, that's, or whatever it said. That was perfectly fine. That I don't really like, the fact that everywhere so far has been absolutely clear, and then right where we're descending into is fogged in. But we'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes, right? I mean, worst comes to worst, we go mist, and then we say go straight to San Jose. All right, so we're still descending here. 25 miles out from goalie. So once we're within 25 miles of Mike Romeo Yankee, we'll go ahead and technically of the Utoya waypoint, but we'll use just the airport. Then I can bring it down to 6,300. I'm going to go ahead and reduce my speed to 180 when I'm about 5 miles out from Sierra, November Sierra, just so that when I hit activate the approach and it does a 180 back on course, we don't get completely screwed up by that. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that and see how it goes. Alright, real quick, I do want to apologize. It does appear there's someone outside setting off fireworks, so just ignore that. The plane is in one piece, I promise. There's nothing major going on here. So, landing data, we'll just go back into here and hit confirm. I'm going to ignore the fireworks going off outside. It's July 30th. It's not the 4th, guys. Chill out. Anyways, we'll go ahead and look into... No, not that. Perf, landing data. Yeah, just verify that that is all the same. 118 and 108 will be our VREFs. About to pass through 10,000 feet, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the landing lights on. And, yeah, tail flood on as well. That's fine. Seatbelt sign's already on. Ice protection is really not going to be required for this arrival. Flight instruments and avionics, we already have our altimeter set. Crew briefing is already complete. Passenger briefing not required. We have none on board. Seatbelt signs on, and my own seats are locked and in position, ready to go. Alright, looks like it just went ahead and directed us to Sierra, November Sierra. Passing 10,000 now, we can go ahead and set this down to 6,300. You can tell we're well within that 25-mile radius from the airport. That's the approach checklist complete. Next will be before landing. We'll go ahead and do that. Probably once I'm 10 miles out, we'll go ahead and... Actually, when we're 5 miles out, we'll go ahead and start to slow it down and activate the approach there into Monterey. Yeah, you see it's going to make us do a very weird turn, I bet. So, actually, you know what I'm going to... I probably shouldn't do... Actually, you know what? We're above the MSA, so I'm going to give myself a quick vector just to... about northbound, just so that way... I know I'm vectoring myself, but that way we don't have any weird, stupid turns trying to make that leg from Sierra, November Sierra to Hixar. So I'm going to hit heading mode on. How much you want to bet they're going to be doing their little firework grand finale as soon as I'm about to land? You're just going to be hearing pew 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 in the background. This is going to be funny. Anyways, we'll go ahead and reduce the speed. We got to keep flying, guys. We'll reduce the speed to 180. Bring that first notch of flaps in, and then start to vector us around for that first leg of the approach. So there's 180 right there, first notch of flaps in, and I'm going to go ahead and swing this heading back around to intercept here. Oh, for fuck's sake, intercept westbound. Oh, you little shite. No, I said 63, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Alright. 270, keep looping this around. Actually, yeah, we'll do 240, just enough to intercept there. And then I'm going to go down here and hit activate approach. So procedures, activate approach, please. There we go, perfect. Now I can hit nav mode on, and the airplane should fly itself. Yep, there we go, perfect. So that's 180 set. I'll bring the second notch in as well. Before landing checklist, flaps are set, or actually landing gear is not down just yet. I just want to wait till we're on the approach, then I'll start to bring that down. Just gonna go ahead and let this plane. Oh, is it gonna take the procedure turn? I don't want it to take the procedure turn. Look at that. It's gonna actually maybe it will, maybe it won't. Let's see what it wants to do after this next leg. So there we go. We can bring altitude down to 51. And we could just flight level change mode it down. Yeah, I'm just worried that it's going to take this procedure turn, but we'll see. I mean, the bold legs are saying it won't. It just... I hate when it does that. I really do. I mean, there's no reason to take a procedure turn on this. So, initial approach fix hold. Oh, it is 100% going to try and do that. So if I just real quick go down here and then say, flight plan. Is there any way to clear this hold? Insert, remove hold. There we go. Awesome. Yes, okay. I'm telling you to remove the hold. There we go. That's a lot better, right, guys? Yeah, go catch your speed back up to 180, please. So we'll keep it here at 51. keep the speed low so we don't get too far behind the airplane. And I'll go ahead and bring the gear down. Gear down, 3 green. Flaps are currently set. We'll set the next notch once we're there on the final approach. Exterior lights verified are all set. Recon lights will turn on too. The speed brakes are retracted and the ground spoilers not. I'll go and deploy them myself. ECAS verified, no alerts. Autopilot and auto throttle will be disengaged, and we'll slow down our airspeed now to approach of 118. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and take the speed in manually from here. So my throttles, auto throttle off, please. And we'll just start to reduce it now. There we go. We can go ahead and set our, that's the before landing checklist complete. Altitude down to 4,100. And level change mode, we just need to stay on top of this. Monterey traffic, citation 39 Charlie Juliet, 5 mile final. RNAV Yankee, runway 28 left, full stop, Monterey. So much for few clouds. Let's vert speed it now at this point. Oh, it's going to level off anyways, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and set flaps to full. 185 for the approach speed. And then just go ahead and start increasing power just to stay ahead of this airplane. And altitude down to 3,200 for Hugin. And VS at about 600 feet per minute, please. There we go. That'll let my speed catch up a little bit. A little bit more, actually. Alright, into the soup we go. 3,200. And next will be down to 1,740. Keep the speed down. Just pure IMC flying at this point. Pure IFR. We were a little bit more than 5 miles out, but that's okay. Alright, we'll go ahead and now bring it down to 1,740. So we'll do 1,800 actually. VS continue down at that 800 feet per minute. I seem to like that so far. Go ahead and give it another couple hundred. We do have that glide slope. I do believe this is LPV, not an LPV, just LP. So we do have a glide slope. Minimums are 1080. If you can even hear me. I know I'm talking quiet. I'm tired. All right. 27 for 18. There's 800 to go. Monterey traffic, 9 Charlie Juliet. It's now on a 5 mile final, runway 28 left. RNAV Yankee, Monterey. 500. Alright, looks like I can at least see the ground, so that's a good start, right guys? I should probably get the yoke out so I can hit disengage. Looks like we're starting to break out of this. Alright, gotta maintain 18 until we have passed this this point here. Alright, there we go. We can bring it down to our minimum of 1100. And VS now down once again at that 800 feet per minute point. And I'm going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot, take it in by here so we can set missed approach altitude on standby up to 6,000. Just going to keep following this for now. I got it in sight. We're following a glide. There's 1,400 for 11. Oh, there it is. I wasn't expecting it to be that far offset. I saw it was a slight offset, but okay. Well, airport's in sight. We'll go ahead and start to make this turn now. Yep, we're landing. I've got the airport in sight. Wow, I saw there was a slight offset. I just didn't expect it to be that big. All right, we'll start to reduce now. What the hell happened to my runway lights? They do this every time, I swear.
500.
Monterey traffic, 9 Charlie Juliet, short final, runway 28 left, full stops, Monterey.
Short final, runway 28 left.
Alright, come on, don't freeze out on me right now. There we go.
200.
This'll work, don't worry. We got this.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Just hold this. Yeah, maybe I held that a little bit too much. Yeah, there you go. Now the game freezes, and then you have to stay on top of the rudders, because otherwise it just flings you off to the side, and then you have to lower the nose so the plane doesn't... Anyways, reversers out. Come on, just keep those reversers out, and go ahead and close that engine there. Hit the brakes myself, stow those reversers. And you know what, let's just keep it rolling for now. Oh man, I absolutely love that. So we'll go ahead and exit here, and we'll just taxi to this little corner back here is where we're going to pick up our friends, we'll say. So slow it down a little bit more. Actually, you know what, let's take this exit since it's, well, it's not really a high speed, so I'll just exit here. Right around here, we'll go ahead and retract those flaps. After landing checklist, we'll go ahead and, oh, and before I forget, Monterey traffic, citation 9 Charlie Juliet is exit runway 28 left. We're going to be taxiing to parking via Alpha, Monterey. Alright, let me, actually, you know, we'll just bring it to a stop real quick. Why do I have one windsock saying that was a tailwind and another saying it was a head? Whatever, forget about it. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to be... I saw that there was a little bit of an offset on the approach there, but I'm going to look back at that approach here once we park. I just wasn't expecting it to be that sharp of an offset. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for the night because I'm tired. I was thinking of doing a red-eye after this, but whatever. Let's just go ahead and park this behind here, turn that tax light off so we don't blind anybody, go on with our shutdown checklist without killing the citation there in front of us. Park it here, set that parking brake, and I'll go ahead and say after a shutdown checklist throttle set, ice protection, we'll go ahead and make sure the APU generator's on, and then we'll go ahead and shut down these engines. So 1 off, 2 off, and shut down. So engines are rolling back. We can go turn the passenger safety signs off, tail floodlight will stay on, and anti-collision light will come off. So engines are going to be shut down, and that is a successful flight to Monterey, California completed. Alright, I'm not too sure why my lights are on, considering I just turned them all off, but that's okay. We're here on the ground in Monterey, behind the other citation here. Overall, to debrief, not really too much to talk about here. Obviously, the approach was a little bit interesting. I just wasn't mentally prepared for that offset approach. Let me go ahead and take a look here. It shows a very slight offset. Oh, but if you actually read the note here, it says final approach course is offset by 16 degrees. Whereas just on the map, it looks like it's barely anything. So there you go. That's your lesson on read the stinking notes there. So, alright, lesson learned there. Other than that, I think this flight went pretty smooth. The departure went well, all things considered. I'm going to go ahead and call this a night, guys. I'm really freaking tired, so I hope you guys did enjoy this video. and I'll talk to you guys all very soon. Good night, everybody.